Hi, I'm Amanda and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about the Dark Tower extended reading list. I don't even know what to call it, but I could just call it my really long Dark Tower journey. If you didn't see the intro video for this series, look up above and go watch that one first because it'll just explain like what I'm doing and where I got all this stuff from. So here is I will scoot over. Here is my nice little graphic that tells you where I started. The last update I was about to start the Talisman in the last update. So I have finished the Talisman and I have finished the Eyes of the Dragon. So first let's talk about the Talisman. This book is the first book that I've read that is Stephen King and Peter Straub together. It's not just Stephen King writing. And there were parts of it where I thought, I don't think he wrote this. Like there were little sections of the book where I just didn't sound like his writing. It didn't sound like, so I don't know if that was just me reading things into it because I knew there was another author or what. But this also felt a lot like The Stand. Like there were certain aspects of it that felt very much like The Stand. So anyway, the basic premise of what we have happening here is there is a little boy and his mother has taken him from California to New York, not New York, New Hampshire, somewhere on the East Coast, okay? His mother has taken him from the West Coast to the East Coast. And she seems to be sick. He doesn't know what's going on with her. His dad is no longer alive. It's just him and his mom. They're staying at a hotel and he meets a man who says, hey, you're going to need to go to California and get this thing called the Talisman, and that's going to save your mother's life. And this boy is like 12. And he's like, okay. And so he goes on a journey and an adventure. And he's not always in our world. There's definitely fluctuations between worlds, and it introduces that concept of there being multiple worlds, which is, I know, what we see in the Dark Tower. Certainly in the Gunslinger, we saw from the very beginning that there were other worlds. So that is our connection to the Dark Tower from the Talisman. I'm assuming there might be more characters in there and other people that we're going to meet. And there's definitely, I don't know if every King villain is supposed to be Randall Flagg in one way or another. Like if there's always supposed to be him just as a different name, because let's fast forward to the Eyes of the Dragon. We learn that there is a character named Flagg, and of course he's the bad guy. And he has gone by other names, it says, and he's been alive for thousands of years, or hundreds of years at least. I don't know how long, but a long time. So that leads me to believe that maybe every bad guy in every book that he's ever written, if there is like a giant villain, then that villain is Randall Flagg. But anyway, in the Eyes of the Dragon, I really liked this book. Like all of a sudden, like Stephen King continues to amaze me with how he can write in different genres. Like we have now gone to medieval fantasy in this one. They live in a tower. There is like the king of the place. There's the mage who has the ear of the king. That man's name would be Randall Flagg. And the king's name is Roland, which is the guy's name, and the gunslinger's name is Roland. I was so confused at first. I was like, is he just reusing names? Like, I don't understand what's happening. And so I still don't know if it is just to keep our brain oriented into the whole Flagg Roland thing. But anyway, there's a king. He has two sons. Peter is the oldest, and he is set to take the throne when his dad dies, and he is imprisoned for murder, not put on the throne. It says all that in the synopsis, so I'm not giving anything away. However, what happens after that is the majority of the book, or the majority of the action in the book, and so I'm not going to talk about any of that. What kind of annoys me, and it has happened in all of King's books just about, but it's this weird, it's not even foreshadowing, because foreshadowing is hinting at what's coming next. This is straight up just like saying, well, and he never did that because then he went to the dungeon. You know, like, wait, what? So, like, just telling you what's happening. And then sometimes it's like, and he never saw her again. You're like, wait, what? Like, or he didn't know it was the last time he would see her alive. Or something like that. Like, that quote's not in this book, but things like that is what I mean. And so that seems to be in there a lot. And it kind of annoys me. I want to be like, no, I don't want to know about that. Like, but I realize now that it does set up a certain kind of tension, because then you're like, okay, well, I know where we are now and I know where we're going. So when is it going to happen? Like, what's going to happen in between there to get us where you said we were going? And so I do realize that it creates a certain kind of tension, but at the same time, I feel like you're giving away your own story. So anyway, I liked The Eyes of the Dragon a lot more than I liked The Talisman. And now that means that what's up next is It. This has always been a book that I have been scared to read because I saw the movie, like the original, not movie, but the original like TV series or whatever, and I have always been scared of it. And now I'm gonna read it. So, wish me luck. Next, in my next review, I will be finished with it, and we will see how that goes. So, thank you for joining me on this Dark Tower adventure, and I will see you next month with my next check-in. Bye, guys.